We actually first met in Bangkok Airport where Patch worked in Suvarnabhumi.
And what do you love about Paul?
My twin daughters used to buy their cosmetics from Patch, and I noticed her one day. I thought, oh man. And I didn't come to Thailand to live inside.
Yeah.
You know, in the UK, if somebody walks through your gate, they're coming to kill you. We don't rely on the money from it, but we pick up a nice few quid. We had a dog here. Well, it wasn't our dog, it was a neighbour's dog that got run over and had its leg severed.
For you now on a general monthly basis, what would your kind of cost of living be? What were they before? What were they now? So you know that I'm all around Thailand these days, talking to different expats from all walks of life, people that have moved here to Thailand, set up kind of long-term base here. You know, we've spoken in the past to Paul, who lived in Khon Kaen. We've also been talking to a number of people that lived on the islands in Koh Chang. And today I'm here with Paul and Patch in Udon Thani that have set up shop here out in the sticks. And I'm going to be asking them some questions today about their life and why they chose to set up here, why Paul decided to leave the UK, and how things are going so far for their retirement, albeit an early retirement in Paul's case. So let's go and take a look. All right, guys, so thanks for inviting me over today. It's great to finally meet you because we've talked a bit on Facebook. We got a couple of friends in common in this area. And I guess we'll start with how long have you been here and what made you fancy coming out to Thailand to live full time?
I moved to Thailand in 2005, so I've been here for a long time. But we moved to this land in 2017, which was land gifted from Patch's dad. When we arrived, it was just a rice field. So we've been developing.
How long?
Pre-COVID, we'd done 2 years developing the first house, the land, all the fruit trees that you can see, the bamboo, the sort of stuff.
Well, you've done a lot of work here and people will be able to see from the drone now. How long is it taking you to get to this stage?
Well, Ryan, the second phase started in 2019. That was just replanting again. But the main works that we've done that you'll see today when you walk around the farm was from 2023. So within 18 months, everything that you see we've developed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been a tough journey. And Patch was managing most of it while I was working overseas. So
you were working and living in the UK. How did you end up living in Thailand?
when I first came to Thailand 30 years ago, I'd exhausted all of the European islands, the mainland, Spain, Italy, and I was looking for something different. And I walked into the travel agent and said, "Look, what you got on offer? Something completely different." And they said, "Why don't you go to Thailand? Got a really special deal. So you can do a city and a beach break." And I ended up in Bangkok and I hated it. I hated it.
Most people do.
Yeah.
I got
For too long anyway.
I got off the plane and it was just so humid and the traffic, it was rush. I mean, it was London on steroids. And I ended up in the hotel room and I ended up arriving late at night. I think it was probably 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up about 6 o'clock in the morning. I went downstairs for a cigarette, and when I went downstairs, I was standing at the Amari atrium, and there was a crazy English guy that was drunk fighting the security, and they just beat the life out of him. And I just thought, do you know what? I've got to go home.
A common sight in Bangkok.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, I hate this place, but I've got to stick it out. I'm here for 3 days. So on the third day in the morning, at 6 o'clock in the morning, a taxi comes to pick me up to take me to Hua Hin, and I'd probably had a few beers in the night before. And I remember going to sleep in the taxi and waking up in Pratchwap Kirikan in Hua Hin.
Yeah.
Just opening my eyes and going, do you know what? I'm going to buy a house here. And I did that. I did it right there.
Did you meet in Hua Hin or not?
No, we actually first met in Bangkok Airport where Patch worked in Suvarnabhumi.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What were you doing there at the airport, Patch?
I work in MAC cosmetic shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were traveling back and forward to Thailand and you met in her cosmetic shop?
It's a bit more complicated than that, right? Because I've got twin daughters. So I used to I had my own business at the time, so I was coming in and out every 3 or 4 weeks. And I first noticed Patch in 2005. My twin daughters used to buy their cosmetics from Patch, and I noticed her one day and thought, oh man. Oh man.
So how'd you start that conversation up then?
Well, it started a lot longer than that. It started, it was a lot later than that. I think it was in 2014.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so we're talking nearly 9 years later. But obviously I was coming backwards and forwards, and I always try to plan my trips to make sure that she was on shift. And my relationship failed with my wife in 2010. So I was coming backwards and forwards, noticing Patch, and then I noticed her online, actually.
We met online.
Yeah, we met online.
Yeah.
But I'd already approached her a couple of times, and anyway, she gave in the end.
Yeah.
She gave in. She gave me a date.
Okay.
And the rest is history. Don't be embarrassed.
And so just before we hear the rest of Paul and Patch's story living out in rural Udon Thani and take a look around their place, if you've followed this channel for any length of time, you know that I only partner up with products and services that are going to be useful to my subscribers. And so I'd just like to mention today's video sponsors, Saily eSIM. If you're busy planning your next trip to Thailand or anywhere else in the world and you don't want the hassle of getting a local SIM card everywhere you land, I highly recommend Saily's eSIM. An eSIM is a SIM card that's built into your phone, so you don't have to switch SIMs every time that you travel. All you need to do is download the Saily app, choose the plan that you want, and you're instantly connected with unlimited data across 190 countries. But more than this, it's going to save you money on expensive roaming charges and keep you connected even when there's no Wi-Fi. The app is super easy to use. You can manage your data, share your hotspot, and there's even 24/7 customer support. What's more is they have a very flexible refund policy, so you're covered if things don't work out as planned. Personally, I can't count the number of times that I've been caught without Wi-Fi and needing to contact friends, arrange a pickup, or just check Google Maps. Saily's eSIM makes sure that never happens to you. Now, Saily have given me a special discount to give to you. It's going to get you 15% off. You can simply use my code word NakedGuru at the checkout, download the app, or go to www.saily.com/nakedguru. All of that is below in the description and the pinned comment, and do let me know how you get on. Now let's get back to Patch and Paul showing us their place in Udon Thani. And at this point in time, when did you decide to make the move out here then into the rural Thailand together?
After we sell the house in Hua Hin,
Yeah,
I think
so we
that's
sold-
the thing. Because that's I never want to come back here. Seriously, before because I like to go some different. So then 2000 we sold the house, and then we have nowhere. We are like homeless. They say, you wanna take a look? I can give it the land for you right away if you want.
This was your dad, right?
My dad, yeah. So then we hang around with the family couple months. Then I'm start to think what I possible do here, in the future. So then that to make we talk about this. We're gonna come back.
It's a really funny story, actually, Ryan, and I'll tell you about the story about the house and how we ended up building the timber house. So Dad's old shed used to be where the house is. And the reason we call it Up the Farm is because every time we used to go to Mum's house, we used to say, where's Dad? And Patch would always say, he's up the farm. So it just seemed like a natural progression to call it that. And the first time I visited, it was a rice field, absolutely flat. There was nothing here apart from Dad's old gutam.
Yeah.
Shed.
It's like a shed,
Yeah.
Old shed.
And I walked inside and I said to Patch, do you know what? If we build a house here, I'm going to build a timber house.
Yep.
I said, are you okay with that? She went, it's
Yeah,
whatever
because-
you want to do.
Dad, he keep the old window from my house when I kid. So then he keep that some window, some piece of timber, some piece of
Sure,
wood
yeah.
in that shed. So then we still keep it. We still
Yeah,
keep
that's
it.
a
The,
great-
the
You
window.
already got some materials to build the house.
That's a
Yeah.
great story, actually.
Yeah, we
because
keep some window from my own house to keep in that house.
Yep.
So, yeah. Then
that's a great story, Patch, because when Patch lived in the village, they lived in a timber house.
timber house. Yeah.
And Patch actually knocked the timber house down and built a brick block house for Mum and Dad, a modern style house.
Yeah.
But Dad is a real hoarder.
He
So he
keep
brought
everything.
everything here to the farm and built his own little house.
Yeah.
And when I walked on the land, I just went, Patch, we can just replicate what Dad's done.
Okay.
And she, unbelievably, she accepted it and let me do what I wanted to do.
And obviously by this point, you're kind of retired or semi-retired. What work are you in? And had you retired from it, building up the funds in order to make this move?
When I was 22, I started my first business.
Mm-hmm.
I sold it when I was 28. Went to work for the company I sold it to. Then I exited that company and started another company in London in 2005 and sold my shares in that in 2010 and exited it. And then I decided I really didn't want to be a scaffolder anymore. I wanted to try
So the company was in scaffolding, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm a
yeah,
scaffolder.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a scaffolder. Yeah, I'm a scaffolder. So my plan was always to retire in Thailand. Like I said, I bought a house here 2005. So my mindset was always set on coming to Thailand to retire, but it was never here. It was always going to be in Hua Hin.
Yeah.
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 But then I kind of fell out of love with Hua Hin because it became too commercialised. It's all about the bar scene. And it really got to a point with me where, I was going out playing pool. You're going out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon playing pool and you're coming back at 1 o'clock in the morning. You're drinking too much.
Yeah.
There was something that never suited me there.
In my opinion, I live there a couple years before we sell the house.
Yeah.
So then I feel like Hua Hin is beautiful place to for visit,
Holiday.
but for holiday. But for me, I'm get bored. I nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know, everything just nothing. I like project. I like develop
Garden.
things. So then gardens. Even in Hua Hin, we got garden there.
Yeah.
So then we just not do nothing. You know, people love. I love do things. So then I feel
100%
yeah,
Patch.
not keep me alive
Yeah.
enough like here. So busy.
Same, my wife. Same.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I
not
mean,
do things. Yeah.
Hua Hin for you and for me, yeah, we had a gardener. We had a pool. Someone comes in and looks after the pool. We was just becoming lazy expats.
Lazy, yeah, lazy.
And it was. I've always been a busy guy. I always need a project, Ryan. I always
Yeah.
need something to do. I need a long list every day of things to do.
Do like things
So
to
yeah,
do.
this suits me.
Yeah.
It's never. I'm never dull here. It's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. I love it.
And now you're going to show us around your place.
Yeah, come here.
So I'm looking forward to seeing it because I haven't seen it myself. I've just arrived and we get straight into it.
Yep.
So let's go and have a look. All right, so we got a first building here. I'm assuming this was the first place that you built, the wooden house that you mentioned, right?
It is, and it's split into two sections actually, Ryan. The first section that you'll see is the older section, and we made the extension in 2023, right, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just a one bedroom, one living room, one bathroom, and we kind of extended it out and put a second bedroom and a kitchen inside.
So the wood here as well, is this like a reclaimed wood or? Yeah. Usually it's the best wood because it's the strongest wood, right?
Yeah. I mean, the first house that we built, we bought a house in the village
In
for
the village.
10,000 baht.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All teak.
We bought the wood from people in the village.
Yeah.
From this family, that family, we collect maybe like 4 or 5 from
Yeah.
family in the village. Yeah, to make the first section.
The wood's known to the family,
Yeah.
so we know the houses.
the
We know
house,
there's
yeah.
no termites. It's all been standing for 30, 40 years,
Yeah.
so jobs are good.
So instantly as you come in here, you can feel it's cooler. These old style Thai houses, they're just designed for this climate, right? This sun, it's just cooler straight away. So you got a fully functional kitchen, dining table area here. Oh, it's really nice in here. Are you the decorator, Patch? I think so.
50-50. 50-50. Yeah.
A lot of what you'll see today, Ryan, is stuff that we brought from the UK. So we filled a container. Cost us around about 3,000 GBP.
3 grand, 3,000.
Yeah, and we filled it up with about
Yeah.
10, 12 grand worth of stuff.
And so I noticed that in this one, you do have an air conditioner in. How do you find the use of that air conditioner over there? Because one of the problems with these wooden houses is they're not very insulated, right? So
This one's pretty well insulated. We've got insulation in the roof. But make no mistake, Ryan, it gets hot.
Hot,
In the
it's hot.
summer, it's very, very hot.
Very hot, yeah.
But we don't live in... Well, I never came to Thailand to live inside a house. I came to Thailand to live outside. So
Yeah.
we normally come back in the house around about 7, 8 o'clock, watch a movie.
Working
If it's
on it.
extremely hot, we'll
Yeah.
put the AC on. But we don't... We've got plenty of fans. We just keep the fans going.
well, it's quite a hot day today. And because you've got these fans on, it is cool inside,
put the
right?
fans
And
on,
you've got a
yeah.
good flow of air with the windows and stuff.
When it's very hot, we open all the window out, get the air flow in. Otherwise, in daytime, it's very, very heat. So then we open everything, get the fan on, get the flow air inside. So then it's okay now.
I mean, one of the number one questions I get from people that mainly are in the UK about their reluctance to kind of move here is the heat and how you deal with the heat. Do you find it as a problem for you, or is it up on the list of problems or not?
Ryan, I've lived in India, I've lived in Saudi, Bahrain, Dubai. The heat here is sometimes a little bit oppressive, but it's not as oppressive as where I've lived before. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't come to Thailand to live inside.
Yeah.
I came to Thailand to live outside.
Yeah,
It's exactly what I do. I
I
spend.
remember you complain about it. He complained about the heat
Yeah.
because he can't do things in the garden.
That's
It's
the only
the
time I
one
complain.
that he complained because he can't do things done.
Yeah.
It's too hot. Normally
hot.
we like to working in the garden.
Yeah.
Quite long hour.
Yeah, but
So
I've
then-
kind of worked that
yeah,
out. Before, when I first came here, I would go out 8 o'clock and I'd try and work till 5 o'clock, which is a normal scaffolder's mentality. Get your job done. Now I go and do like 20 minutes and come back in for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes, come back in for 10 minutes.
Or get stuff done in the morning.
Yeah,
and
we
then-
wake up early, do early morning, and yeah, when it's really hot, I mean, in the kind of middle of April, you need to cut off at 12 o'clock, and you can't go back out till 4 o'clock.
yeah.
I mean, I still do that stupid
So you say a lot of this stuff is picked up from charity shops in the UK, right?
Yeah, Patch spent a few years in the UK decorating 2 houses where we own 2 houses and making them look beautiful. And she picked up all kinds of lovely stuff from the charity shops. I mean, she picked up Le Creuset, Denby, all kinds of beautiful stuff for next to nothing.
Time and good eye to spot all the nice things.
Yeah.
Yes, otherwise you put too much, it feel like, it's make your house overload things.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I need to get a good eye to pick up something.
Yeah.
Put together.
But the only things we brought back were things that we couldn't find in Thailand, apart from our power tools.
Yeah, we were just saying that if you've already got all the tools, you already got the furniture you like in the UK, it is actually worth bringing a container over to Thailand, right?
But yeah, it's worth it, Ryan. I would recommend it. And I know a lot of expats say, don't do it, it's a waste of money. Yeah. You'll get caught. If your wife's tired and you can come through customs, you're not going to pay any import duties.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Patch has done it twice now.
If your wife is Thai, when they move back to Thailand, you back to your hometown, they got free tax.
Okay.
So then you don't need to pay the tax. You just pay the cost for them.
For Thai citizen?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
good.
Then one time.
Yeah.
Twice.
We pay last time.
Yeah, we paid $1,000.
In Dubai, we pay a little bit.
Pay a little bit, yeah. And the bedroom area here, well, you don't need them when you're trying to get a good night's sleep, right?
This one, our old house, that window. This one, 4 windows.
Your house when you
My house, when I'm kid, there are 4 windows.
Reclaimed windows, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a shower in here. Why have you not got a Thai-style toilet? You've gone very Thai with the house. I mean, the toilet would have polished it off. The Thai squat, something to master, right?
I need to get those thighs working.
But you do usually find the old Thai houses will have a squat toilet. I'll put an image there for people that are not familiar with that kind of toilet. It just involves standing on it with your feet, taking your pants off completely, and doing the Thai squat. So it's an art form. Everywhere I go, there's always a load of cats and a load of dogs. It's universal to you just start to adopt them, I guess. And something I hear often from people that watch these videos is, oh, there's a body of water, there'll be loads of mosquitoes. How do you find it?
Not at all. We're very surprised. I thought the same before, but when you live here, we're surprised it's not a lot. But now, yesterday I just found out why we haven't got a lot, because the pond is clean, and then we got fish in the pond, so then they eat the egg. So then you keep the pond the side is clean, so then you have no problem with
It's not stagnant.
Yeah,
it's not stagnant water.
Yeah, we found the same as well near our place. There'll be maybe 1 or 2 days a year that you get like a swarm that comes through. It may not even be from the local water. They'll come through and then you'll have to like batten down the hatches kind of thing. But
if I go in the village, Ryan, I'll get bit to pieces.
Oh, you do?
But we come back here and we get probably 1 or 2 times a year, we get a little swarm. But because we keep the water flowing with the fountains, so it's not stagnant water, the mosquitoes don't want to lay. And the fish, if they do, the fish just eat them. That is full of fish, big fish.
Is this a guest house as well? Do you have a guest house operating? Yeah.
We've got 2 guest houses. Yeah, you're welcome to have a look.
So let me ask you, before we take a look at those, did you set up base here with the intention to start a little guest house, or were you guys we're going to live here, we're not going to make any business out of it, or?
Never. So originally, when we built the first house, the first section here, the 1 bedroom that you've seen, that was our cellar. So we used to eat there at night time. All the family used to gather there. Hanging out.
Entertainment space, like hanging space by the pond.
And then in October 2023, we've been back for a month. I think we came back August or September. Mum sent me a message saying, I'll see you in January. And I was like, we've got nowhere for her to stay.
For your mum back in the UK?
Yeah, Mum was coming for the last time. She's going to be too old to travel. So we converted the old cellar into a guest house, which you're quite welcome to come and have a look at, right?
Yes.
And do you advertise it? Do you promote it? Do people come and stay? Or is it mainly for friends? Or?
No, we advertise it. After Mum left, Pat said, what we can do with it? And she said, oh, can I advertise it and start putting it on Facebook, booking.com?
Yeah.
We don't rely on the money from it. but we pick up a nice few quid. I mean, in January we picked up 40,000 baht a month.
Oh wow!
In a month,
fully booked.
Fully booked.
January, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a social element to it as well? Do you meet the guests, or is it more like you leave them to do their thing?
No, we serve them breakfast in the morning. But yeah, I mean, when you're here on the farm, there's nothing really around, Ryan. You can't go to a 7-Eleven. You can't go to an MK restaurant.
Yeah.
So yeah, we entertain them. It's something that really ticks a box for me.
Is there anything that grates on you living here? Like, is there anything that
No,
because we talk a lot about the positives of living in Thailand. Sometimes it's not spoken about a lot, some of the negatives. Do you find it isolating at all being out here? Not everybody could live out in this area, you know what I mean?
You need to be a special kind of person. You need to be comfortable within your own skin, Ryan.
Yeah.
And that comes from experience of your life experiences before. I can stay here for a month and not need to talk to anyone. I don't go to town. I don't need to go to town. I don't need to go to bars. So no, I guess there was when I first came back to live here full time, a few things were really grating on me. Like the neighbours would just come in the fence, or an auntie would just come through the gate. Mm-hmm. And after a little while, I realised, you know what? Every time they come in, I'd be like, "Who's this patch?" And then I realised when they come in, they're bringing in a bag of vegetables.
Yeah.
You're not used to people walk in.
Yeah.
You know, in the
You
UK,
have a gate,
if somebody
yeah.
walks through your gate,
Yeah.
they're coming to kill you.
Yeah.
Or they're coming to do something bad.
Yeah. Who's that?
Who's that?
He paranoid about someone walk in the house.
Yeah.
Ride scooter here, parking here. But now he not no barber anymore.
I realised,
No barber anymore. Yeah.
actually, Mayor Runa lives next door. When she come through the fence, she's bringing in some pumpkins. And I was like, do you know what, Granny? You've got this all wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what? You've got it wrong. So, no, yeah, I guess the only thing that would annoy me here is the driving a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
In the rural areas.
Yeah.
They kind of just got no risk assessment awareness.
Yeah.
But I think I've probably adapted and become. I'll drive like a tyre.
Driving.
I'll drive like
Well,
a tyre.
sometimes what I find is they'll just run out in front of you.
Yeah, they'll just pull
on
out.
bicycle, or there's some piss
they
guy
won't
on.
They won't
loud
look
cow.
where where we've been conditioned to mirror signal manoeuvre. They haven't here.
Yeah.
They'll just come out on a turn and.
There's small prices to pay for
For sure.
the luxuries of life that you enjoy. I know some people watch the channel and they're just like, I could not live out there, you know. Other people watch the channel and think that'd be my dream to live out there. But I think it's a niche population that would want this kind of thing. What we see as freedom and liberation could be a prison for some people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, if you're not comfortable in your own skin, trying to live in this environment, isolated from everybody, you've got no Farang, you've got no English, but German or European.
But it's okay, we got solution.
Yeah, we've got solutions for everything. We always make solutions.
Like every month, we have to go somewhere different. Like sometimes go see the friend in this province, like that.
Yeah.
Every month, or we see some people sometime, but not like just living here. I don't go anywhere. Yeah, we got solution. Sometimes we go to like Kuala Lumpur that we like. Yeah, to see people.
Yeah, we go to Noise Kitchen.
Just like for social. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go explore the new place.
Yeah, looking in from the outside, I think a lot of people look at this lifestyle and think it's a lot of lazing around. But what I found, it's the absolute opposite. Like, I never have a free minute, you know.
I keep laughing and saying, Pat used to say to me, let's move to Thailand and retire. You'll live like a king. Man, I've never worked so hard in my life.
You look like a Thai farmer. Thai farmer.
You want to see my back, buddy, from the sun.
But
Dress up today. Normally not.
Yeah, I've had a shave.
You've had a shave.
Yeah.
Because also you get addicted to projects, I found. Like once we built one thing, we're like, oh, I'm going to build another.
We've got to the point now where when you walk around, you'll probably understand what I'm saying, right? We've got to that point now where we shouldn't build anymore. I know we want to, but the thing that worries me, Ron, is listen, I'm 58. In 10 years' time, I'm going to be 68. Patch will be the same age as me. She'll be 58. If I passed away, could she manage this by herself? And the answer is no. She won't be able to do it. It's too much work. And we've finally convinced ourselves that we can't build it. Although we're going to build a bar and a swimming pool.
Just one more thing.
Just one more thing. Yeah, my mum will be watching this and she'll say that's what you always say. Just one more thing. But no, I mean, no. I think there gets to a point where you've got to say, do you know what? You've got to be realistic. If anything happened to me, and anything happened to mum and dad, and Patch was here by herself, although we're surrounded by family,
family support.
She's good. Yeah, but you've got family support, but you're stuck here, darling, with a monster to try and look after.
I understand the point.
And I know you're fit and you're a positive person, but At some stage, it's going to be too much. So
For the whole complex that you've done so far, what kind of investment do you think it's a ballpark if it's something like this, to build?
3.5.
I think so.
Yeah, about 3.5.
3 million.
Most of it went in planting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
But over 7 years, okay, it's not a lot of money. So yeah, but I'm guessing probably 700 to a million on plants.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you had trees put in as well, or not?
Yeah, we've had all the. There was nothing here, Ryan. It was a flat field.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything you see. Yeah, I'm guessing we've probably spent more.
No, not that much. That's the UK price, okay? I know,
Yeah.
I quite know roughly. So
Right, okay.
a lot. We spend a lot.
We spent a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
but we've made it beautiful. It's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tropical. It's
Yeah, we wanted that tropical feel. And do you know what, Ryan? You know as well as I do, if you live on a rural community, you're going to get dust coming in.
yeah.
What we've done is we've created a dust-free environment to a certain extent. By planting all these trees, we keep the dust out.
Yeah.
We was really surprised. It was never our intention to do that. But we were sitting down the other day saying, we was at a friend's house, his house was full of dust. We come home, we've got no dust. And the only thing we can put it down to is the trees.
So it's the dust, and also you're getting a lot of shade, right?
Yeah, we get a lot of shade.
Of
The
course,
bamboo,
yeah.
I'd advise people to be very careful what they do with bamboo. Dad advised us right at the beginning not to plant bamboo around the house, and we just ignored him.
Yeah.
And said, look,
Yeah.
we got bamboo in halfway in. We had 5 plants.
Yeah.
We've got like maybe 200 plants here, and
And
they
always listen to the locals.
always listen to mum and dad.
Yeah.
Is my advice.
We make a little bit mistake. You
Yeah.
know, everyone make a mistake about this one. We close to the house.
Yeah.
So then when the wind comes, so then drop to the roof. So then sometimes fall over. So then, but we learn.
Yeah, you put a lot of bamboo in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got hundreds.
It's not that you just didn't listen, you just went mad.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we put on steroids.
So there's an eye roll from your father-in-law there.
Yeah, that's why.
It's like I told you.
Sometimes.
Oh yeah, I told you so.
In the end, he's always right. We ignore.
Yeah.
He advised, so we think we know, but not better. We say, okay, we want to do our own things without his telling to do.
Yeah.
Then in the end, he right because
Yeah.
he live in here. He know what gonna happen. But okay.
Same my in-laws too. There's many things that I did and didn't listen, and then
Yeah.
I learned later. So you learn by doing.
Yeah.
And so this is the guest house area. What do you call this patch?
Waterfront house.
The waterfront house. Here is the guest room. Isn't this beautiful? And you use this as a guest house. How much per night do you usually charge for people to stay here? 1,200.
Includes breakfast.
That's
We do
really
breakfast.
good. And you do breakfast as
Do
well.
breakfast. Normally in the beginning we don't want to do breakfast, but when we got guests they need breakfast. So then we start to do the breakfast after that. Then we can turn to be is very good time with the guests, so that we can talk a little bit. That we share experience and then more closer, more ultimate, right? With the guests. Yeah.
And do you find it difficult to that kind of work, checking people in, checking people out? And then I'm assuming you do all the housekeeping yourself as well, or?
Yeah, I'm quite enjoy do it, but sometimes I need if I need help, yeah, I can get someone to help me. But for the moment, it's just only one, so then only two another side, so that I can handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still can handle it. Then the guests we have to be booking in front, so
Okay.
that we don't do like walk in too much because I have no time to do organize the things. So then have to be
And how do people find you? It's on booking.com or Agoda or
booking.com Agoda.
under Paul and Patch.
Paul and Pat page up the farm with Pat and Paul also. So yeah, we got different kind of
Yeah, we've got a good
market
market on
market,
Facebook.
yeah.
Up
Yeah.
the farm with
Our friend,
Patrick, we've been
yeah.
successful.
I'll leave a link below anyway. If anybody's in town, they'll come and see you. So it is beautiful in here. Yeah. So you got a toilet and you got a sink over here, and you got a little balcony out here as well.
Yeah, we have, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So morning all, even though it wasn't my original plan on this trip, I actually stayed here last night and it was super comfortable. Honestly, I know people say that when they stay at places, they say, oh yeah, it was really nice and stuff, but probably one of the best night's sleep I've had in years. I don't know why that is, when I travel anyway. Usually I just kind of hitch up, as you see on this channel, I hitch up at some like standard hotel, you know, jump in the bed's usually rock hard, and I never complain, I'm not bothered. But this was super comfortable, and what made it really nice was the rains came down and they were pitter pattering on the roof. It's just very like what's the word? You just kind of, it was like being in a log cabin far out in nature. Almost felt like being in a log cabin out in Alaska. I know that sounds weird, but that's what it felt like staying here last night. And just it's very visceral. I think that's the word, where you have the rain coming down, and it's just, you can hear the frogs because of the heavy rain. All the frogs are going, all the insects are going. And so because our interview was rained off last night, we're going to be continuing it today. As I said, I didn't plan to stay, but I'm really glad that I did. It was no use cutting the interview short and then jumping in the car and then going in a big storm to the next location I'm going, which is about an hour and a half away from here. Much better to stay. And I also got a good chance last night to sit with Paul and Patch and just shoot the shit really and have a chat about life living here. And we talked for a few hours in the kitchen. Patch made us some omelette, and rice was fantastic. So yeah, really good. I don't usually get to immerse myself in a place and stay over with people. This doesn't usually happen because I'm usually in a rush. A lot of people do invite me, but I'm usually like, going from one place to another, and I don't want to put on people. But last night it was almost forced to stay here. So yeah, really comfortable, and I can see why Paul and Patch like this area, like what they've done here. You don't actually even need the aircon. It's so cool here. The trees give enough shade that at this time of year anyway, in the rainy season, it's not the hot season, it really isn't so hot here, and it's tranquil, guys, put it that way. If you are ever visiting Udon Thani or near Udon Thani and you wanted a little taste of what village life would be like, I think this would probably be your best shot. We don't have guests at our place, so we don't have a guest house, but if you wanted to know what rural life would be like, honestly, this is probably the best thing you could do. There's a lot of places that do like farms, they do activities and stuff, and they do like farming, permaculture and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's really grasping the true village life, because it's activities set up for tourists. And then obviously there's hotels, there's the city, you know, that's city life. If you wanted the rural life where there ain't nothing much going on, which there isn't much going on in your rural life, this is definitely your spot. So I'm going to be getting breakfast now, and then we're going to be catching up with Patch and Paul and finishing this vlog off, this interview off. I don't even know where we were yesterday. Sometimes it can be a bit of a shock because I arrive at a place, you've hardly met the people, and you're jumping on camera together. So it's a bit shocking, you know. Whereas now I feel like we know each other. So we'll be finishing this chat this morning with you guys, and let's go and ask Paul and Patch the rest of the questions that I usually ask on these interviews. So we're picking up where we left off, mate. It's usually I don't actually stay at the place I visit, so I only get to spend a couple of hours with people. But last night we had a good chat, and a very comfortable place here in the rain as well. Good. Oh yeah, absolutely.
This is my outdoor workshop. This is the first building I built on the farm.
And this is your workshop, right?
Yeah, this is my outdoor workshop, and a little bit of a nursery where we start off all the seeds. And
when you say workshop, do you find that you actually do much in here yourself? Yeah, are you a bit of a mechanic, or you woodwork,
mechanically and electrically? I'm useless.
Oh, really?
Yeah, three things you need in Thailand is you need to be able to understand electric, plumbing, and welding. And I'm useless at all three.
But I guess her parents are, which are just over. We got Yai over there. Her dad is good at that kind of thing, or?
We've got a family that are all good at those kind of things. So the one thing I've learned is you need to be really flexible and adaptive. You need to adapt I mean, if I want to, if I'm missing something like just for instance, a screw or a bolt, it's a 90-minute drive to go and pick one up.
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of make shit up as I go along.
Do you use the ATV much, Paul?
Yeah,
or
we normally use it every day. We take the dogs for a walk.
okay.
That's my idea of taking the dogs for a walk. So we take them for a couple of kilos outside the village, and they run around. And yeah.
Is this Yai's operation or your operation or?
It's my operation, but Yai's in charge.
Yai's in charge.
Yeah, she's the head gardener. She's the boss. You can see her there. She's managing stuff already. So
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I listen to Mum a lot. She's taught me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, actually. On the farm, the Yais know what they're doing.
Oh, for sure.
What percentage of your food do you think you can produce? Because when we've done it before in the past in Buriram, I probably got to about 30% maximum. But your operation looks somewhat bigger than mine.
We, from a vegetable point of view, the only thing I can't grow is onions. Onions and garlic, which are the main staple of what we eat. So I'm learning about those. But yeah, most of the stuff that we get out of the farm is, I would say we're probably about 70% vegetables.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot out
of
of
the vegetable side of things.
Yeah, vegetable side of things, yeah. So that's a good yield.
Plus you're producing your own eggs and then meat, chicken you buy in, I'm assuming.
Yeah, at the moment we're buying in chicken and pork and but in the future, yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the future you might have some turkeys.
I will have some turkeys.
So I'll be giving some turkeys to Paul. So he's in a past life. You're a butcher, right?
I was, yeah.
So because that's what I have a bit of a hard time doing with the turkeys. Is butchering them, mainly because my wife doesn't like when I do it, and she falls out of love with me. She says.
I think everybody has a hard time doing that, but it's part of the end of life cycle. So
yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, if you're going to grow, if you're going to rear animals, then at some stage you're either going to let them pass away or you're going to put them on the table. So.
Unfortunately, when I did it, Dama looked at me like I was some kind of serial killer or something, you know. She wouldn't talk to me for 2 days.
Well, that's just the Buddhist thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, we share something in common, actually, because the thinking around here is that if you don't kill the animal, then it's not against your bad juju in your in Buddhism, right? Yeah, correct. You can eat it, no problem, but... Is that...
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example. We had a dog here. Well, it wasn't our dog, it was a neighbour's dog that got run over and had its leg severed. It was absolutely in bits. Yeah. It should have been put down. I took it to the vets, they wouldn't put it down.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to have its leg amputated and bring it back, and we nursed it and kept it alive, and unfortunately it got parvo and passed away. So.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
But the right thing to do would have been to...
Yeah, to put it down.
Yeah. So this is quite common in Buddhist countries, that they don't believe in actually killing the animal, even though that would have been the more humane decision.
Correct, 100%.
Yeah. I see you're growing in the concrete, these concrete, what are they? Concrete rings, yeah.
So we've got chilies, tangerines, pumpkins, basil, mulberries. This is all the mulberry. We've just stripped all the leaves off for the mulberry. We're trying to trick the mulberry into producing more fruit.
Okay.
And we got from a friend at Woodlands Honey Organic Farm to strip the leaves off, and in 45 days that will start fruiting really well. So yeah.
And I see you've put the solar in over here as well. This is mainly for irrigation, right?
Yeah, for sure. We've got the irrigation system that goes all around the pots. At one stage three of us were spending 3 hours a day watering.
Yeah.
It's just non-productive.
So you just turn it on, but then it waters everything,
Yeah,
right?
It waters everything, yeah.
And do you remember how much your solar installation was for the panel and whatnot?
I think that was about 22,000 installed.
22,000 installed. And that runs the pump just for this area?
It runs the pump for here, it runs the pump for the orchard, it runs the pump for the mango trees as well.
Okay.
And the ponds, we fill the ponds up as well. Yeah, come and have a look.
Yeah.
I can turn it on the pond, the canal, over on the orchard.
Do you ever have any incidents of like swarms of insects coming through though and taking out your harvest?
No,
or you're all right?
Really lucky, Ryan. We've had a couple of little incidents where we get the caterpillars, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
You'll see the butterflies are around, and we will get caterpillars. But no, we keep them under control with organic. Nothing. We don't use any chemicals here at all. Everything is organic.
Well, that's one of the main reasons that you would grow vegetables in Thailand, because vegetables are so cheap here from the market anyway. But one of the main reasons you want to grow is a health reason, right?
You're making me laugh there, because I keep saying to Patch, why am I doing all this work? I can just go to the local market and buy the vegetables for nothing. But I enjoy it. It keeps me busy. It keeps me fit. And I know exactly what I'm getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the main thing for us. You know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know? You said you got to the point now where you don't feel there's much left to do to the farm. Like, you're not planning any more big buildings apart from perhaps a pool?
Might be a little pool and a bar coming on. But no, that's it. I'm done now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's too much to manage.
So maybe a pool and a bar. Is that because during the hot season as well, it gets pretty intense, doesn't it?
And for the guests as well. I think it's just an added bonus for the guests that come here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to make it like a library kind of bar where you can sit and chill.
Okay.
And we'll put a pool in there, just a overground pool.
Yeah.
Just something a little bit more of an attraction.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot here, Ryan, as you've seen. So we're in the middle of nowhere, really.
And something I ask Paul wherever I go, you know, when people are quite interested if they're going to be coming and living out here, about costs of living. So for you now on a general monthly basis, what would your kind of cost of living be? What were they before? What were they now?
I mean, they was quite high before. We brought them down now, really, really down to a really sustainable level. And I would say around about 1,000 to 1,200 GBP a month.
Okay.
I mean, if I go restaurants, and I stay here on the farm, so a lot of our produce, a lot of our food comes from the farm.
Yep.
So we put a lot of investment in at the beginning, and now we're seeing the benefit of it. So, yeah, I mean, when we was in Hua Hin, we were spending like probably £3,000, £4,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference.
Big difference. And that's a lot to do with restaurants and...
Yeah, I mean, we can get it down to... me and Patch tried it for three months. We got it down to 40,000 baht a month.
Okay.
1,000 GBP.
Yeah, yeah. So, and does that include all your electricity? You've no rent, obviously.
Yeah,
so
it includes everything. Our electric bill is normally around about 40, 50 quid. About
Okay.
2,000, 2,500 baht.
Yeah.
Council tax, I think, is... Patch will give you the exact number, but I think it's around about 120 baht a month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, our gas bill is next to nothing. We
Yeah.
buy a bottle of gas, it will last us 3 months.
Okay.
So yeah, cost of living here is extremely low.
The way you set up now, yeah. Right, yeah. Yeah, I forgot to ask actually, Paul, how many rai is the whole place itself?
We've got 7 rai here.
7 rai.
Yeah, 7 rai.
Yeah. So all of the surrounding land here belongs to Patch's family. All around this area, original family land. And these are your ducks, are they, Patch?
Duck, yeah, this is the duck, and we got 3 geese.
3 geese.
The duck, we got 20 ducks.
20 ducks.
Yeah, so
And the
the
chickens over there.
chicken in the next house, but sometimes they come to join each other. If we open the gate out, they
Okay.
come here. Yeah.
How many eggs do you produce, Patch, here, like on a daily basis?
It's about 10.
10 eggs?
10 eggs, yeah,
Okay.
10 eggs. So for the chicken we got 15 chicken. Sometimes chicken is we find very sensitive. Sometimes they're not happy about the food.
Mm-hmm.
They're not too much egg.
All right.
Even sometimes they love the food. We got like all veggie. We chop. They love it, so then they produce more egg.
Uh-huh.
They're very fussy for the egg. But duck is quite easy, more easy. Every time we can get about 10 duck. Chicken is sometimes we don't even know. Fussy. They're fussy, yeah.
And you said this is your family land around here. Did your parents ever use the land before for like rice production, or just kind of?
They do rice.
And now not so much, or?
Now they cut down. Before people around here they do rice, 100% rice, but the cost for make the rice is sometimes it's not worth the time or the money. They cut down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year we do only 4 rice to make the rice. That's enough.
How many rye is it total? Do you know?
How many rice for that is 16 rice, and then another family that side is a lot. So then that costs about 16 rice.
16 rice.
Yeah. So then they spread for the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we for 3 family.
And so, Patch, you see this is going to be where you live for life now, right? This is home for life, yeah?
Yes, home for life.
Yeah.
Not move anywhere else.
Yeah, you feel comfortable, happy here.
I feel comfortable here, yeah.
We talked last night, you say you feel very happy here.
I feel very complete.
Yes.
Complete. Like can see myself to living here.
For many Thai people, especially Thai women, include my wife, the dream is to live in the rural area where they come from and also be by their parents, right?
Normally, they want to be close to the parent. But sometimes parents, they gone, they pass away. So then sometimes people love to be, think a little change now, right? Think change, people don't want to be in the city anymore. They find out this kind of lifestyle is good for their health, mental health and family for the kid. So they no need to be in the city anymore. If they got the land or they got things to come back.
And do you ever miss working in the cosmetics in the airport?
I miss all the environment, but I prefer this kind of more lifestyle here. But I miss all my friends.
Yes.
Yeah, we got good environment to work with. It's a good.
Were they see a Jai when you gone with Paul or?
Yeah, there's still some still working in the airport.
Oh really?
Yeah, when I'm traveling, I pop up to say hello, or we can still keep in touch with all my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, to work in that
So
company.
they were happy that you met Paul though, and
Of course, they love
yeah.
that.
How many years ago now is this?
More than 10.
More than 10 years
Yeah.
ago. My wife said she would, when she was younger, she never thinks she would have a Farang husband. She always thought she was going to have Thai husband.
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to have a Farang husband or a Thai
In the
husband?
beginning, no, I don't. I don't want to be. I don't mind Thai or Farang, but I don't like people say, "Oh, you marry with Farang, get better life." But I feel like no need.
Yeah.
Yeah, no need. But it just happened. Yeah, it just happened. Yeah.
And what do you love about Paul?
Paul is totally different personality from me. Last night we talking. I'm too high expectation, too perfectionist, too in my line. I don't like to go out of the line. Very in line.
Yeah.
And so then Paul, he like to jump into. He bring me down a little bit, lose me.
Make you feel more relaxed.
Relax, and then
Yeah.
I'm not social too much. I antisocial sometimes. Like to be in my space, little corner. So then Paul bring me out from the of the shelf
Okay.
to do thing different, to see more people.
Yeah.
Open me a little bit, so then I'm better.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's like
Perfect.
balance me a little bit. So
But thank you for sharing, Patch, so openly. Thank you very much. What do you have, Paul? She's asking, how's life changed since you guys came to live here?
ลูกกลับมาความรู้สึกจังใดพ่อ
ก็รู้สึกดีใจแล้วก็ภูมิใจเพราะว่าลูกเต้านี่กลับมา
Feels
อยู่
good and proud.
มาอยู่บ้าน
โอเค
ก็ดีใจหลาย
ดีใจ
ๆ เพราะว่าภูมิใจกับอันตาพ่อลูกเคยที่ว่าเราเป็นคนอังกฤษเนาะมาเข้าใจกับคนอีสาน แล้วคนบ้านนอกๆจังตาเนี่ยบ้านนอกเด้นี่
So from what I understand, what Dad said, he said he's actually very glad that they came back, and he's also very proud of them and proud of the situation. He also understands that we have an English person with an Isan person that understand together, the Kaujaigan, and that if there's a problem, no problem, we can work together. It's just very easy living together, right? Did I miss anything in the translation? Is there something else there? Or?
No, that's all what Dad wanna say.
Yeah, maybe I missed one thing or not, what he said.
นี่อย่างอีกบ่พอ
He said something about the working. That Isam people are different from Western people, but still understand together.
Still can
We've got the same values.
they
Yeah,
adapt.
they adapt.
understand each other.
Mhm.
Then, yeah, so then easy to adapt together.
Okay.
Different in the beginning they need to, but my dad he understand person.
Yeah.
He's understanding. He understand his culture, and so then he easy to it's not far it's
Not
not far
difficult.
too difficult.
Yeah.
Not far too difficult.
So not difficult to work together, live together. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Good. ขอบคุณมากครับคุณพ่อ ครับผม ครับ. So another perfect example of Western families meeting Thai families and working very well together, harmoniously. That's what we like to see. I better finish off.
Okay.
Actually, what do you love about Patch? I can't ask her and not ask you, can I?
She's the kindest woman I've ever met, apart from my mum. She's just got a lovely heart.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful girl inside. Not just from the outside, she's a beautiful girl inside. And she just brings out the best in me, Ryan. Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, don't make me cry. No, she does.
Yeah.
She does.
Well, I want to thank you guys for, first of all, inviting me, giving the walk around, but let me stay as well. I really appreciate that. It's been great. It's been like visiting friends. Yeah.
New friend.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Cheers.